And welcome to another exciting video. In the previous one, we saw how to upload image, and now in this one, we'll be looking at how we can delete an event from the database using Appwrite APIs. Over here, you can see a sample provided by Appwrite. So we have the delete command over here as the endpoint. Then we have the database ID, collection and collection ID, then documents and document ID. Over here, we have a code sample. So you can see that we have the instance of client and database. And then over here, we are making use of the databases.delete document. If you scroll a bit, you'll find that we need to pass the database ID, the collection ID, and the document ID. So that is what we will be exploring in this one. Let's go back to our code and close all these files. The first thing that we need to do is introduce a new method, and we'll be calling that method as delete event by ID. And to do that, we'll be heading over to our src and we'll be going inside the lib directory. So here we have our lib directory, and inside that we have the events.ts file. Now, in this, we'll be first of all introducing the delete event by ID. So here we have the function map document to event, and then these two functions, get events, create event. Now, we'll be accordingly creating a new function. Now, this new function that we have, you can see that we have the event ID coming up over here, and here we are getting the event details. So basically using the get event by ID method, we are getting the details of the event, and here we are checking whether the event has image or not. If it is having the image, then we'll be creating a new method by this name delete file by ID, and we'll be passing the image file ID. Otherwise, we'll just make use of the delete document, and here we are passing the database ID, collection ID, and the event ID. Now, the event is basically called to identify whether the image is there or not. So if there is an image associated with an event, then we will be knowing that using this method. Now let's go back to our storage class, and here we will be first of all creating the delete file by ID method. So here we have these two methods, upload file and get preview, and here we'll be having delete file by ID. Now you'll notice here we are just using the storage.delete file method, and we are passing the bucket images ID and the file ID. So it's pretty simple. As you can see over here, the preview image, they are taking the similar kind of parameters. It's just that here we are calling delete file, and there we were calling get file preview. Now, once that's done, we'll go back to our events file, and here we'll ensure that we have imported this particular method. So here we'll be calling or importing it, and now if you see, the error has gone away. So once we are done with our events and storage files, the next thing that we need to do is head over to our events id.tsx file. So here under events, we'll have the event id.tsx file. We'll open this up, and we'll have a delete button over here that will be calling these methods that we just now created. So the first thing that we need to do is update this import statement, and we'll be including delete event by ID over here along with the get event by ID. Once we have done that, we'll be also making use of the use location from router, and next we will be making use of the const navigate over here, and after that we'll be creating an asynchronous function which will be called on the click of delete button, and we'll be calling that as handle on delete event. So here we have included that as well, and if you'll notice, we have used navigate to take the user back to the home page, and that's why we made use of the use location from router. Now we'll be creating a button. Now we'll be calling the delete event function over here. So you can see that we had this commented earlier. We'll be taking this out now, and here we'll be calling the on click event, and that will basically call handle on delete event. Now let's save this, and this is going to update everything. We'll be saving the event.ts file as well. Now let's refresh this, and here we are seeing everything. Let's click on this image, and here we have the details along with the delete event. Do note that we have to include the import button from components button, and once we have done that, we'll be getting this delete event button created or displayed over here. Now let's go ahead and click this over here to see whether we are being redirected to the home page or not. And you'll notice that it says that failed to load resource. The server responded with a status of 401, and the uncaught exception shows the current user is not authorized. So what exactly we need to do? Let's go to our storage settings over here, and under permissions you can see we have create and read, but delete is also required. So let's give this permission over here, and then the same in the databases as well. So here we'll go to database, and then under collections we'll go to the collection, and here under settings we'll be providing the delete over here and then updating the same. Now once we have done these two things, let's go back, click on delete event, and there you go. It has deleted the event from the database collection as well as the image associated with it.